Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to FM23. It's Newton Heath and episode 3. We are just about ready to kick off the season, the make or break season. If you do not know the nature of this game, promotion and relegation are very much a thing. But if you are in the lowest playable level and you are relegated from that level, it's game over. You don't bounce back. So we do have to survive to keep this series alive. It's a lot of pressure. I wouldn't mind facing relegation if it was something that you just bounce back from by getting better and promoted from that league. But we're at the bottom of the barrel and we're scraping that bottom. So we need to get this thing in order fast. I do have high hopes. For this squad. Speaking of squad, here is our 24/25 man roster. We are down to one trialist who has already agreed to terms. They will join us soon. He's way down at the bottom of the list as our replacement backup goalkeeper, as Nathan whatever, last guy on the list anyway, below even West Garfield. Walker will come in better than Garfield. He'll be the new backup behind Guthrie. Goalkeeper's been a hard position to improve upon, as it is just about our weakest position that we have. Also, looking at what the weakest positions are, it's the first positions we filled. If you caught the middle portion of the last episode, we kind of built a core group, and then once we had enough players in place, all of a sudden other players that were a little bit better than that suddenly became willing to join us, and so they did. And so all of a sudden we had a new core group. Well, because we built from the back positionally, as we got to the top, we had a better group of players. I've started to filter back down to the bottom and doing a second round of trials and invites and finding better players. So Tom Midgley, Kai Nicholson are perfect examples, and Tyler Bradbury. Those three were players that just came in recently as trialists in a second round and elevated the position to a new level, essentially replacing the first guys. So there are some guys that are going to struggle, I think, in the short term and not be terribly happy before long. We've already lost a few of those first round kind of guys that turned out to be not the star players they thought they were, but at the bottom of the list as we have this, in out revolving door. Millen Brown, he's in the middle right now and in a starting position, but keeping him in a starting position with others around is going to be difficult, especially when he wants star player type treatment. We may have to change that soon, and hope that he's okay with just being a regular or squad player. And then the one that might be in big trouble now, Craig Laves down at the bottom, star player, but also Gallimore. This just happened. The latest signing is Luke Reese, straight to the top, Welsh player, and Luke Reese is going to come in and does a lot of the things, and I still like Gallimore. Gallimore does a lot of things, but he's not well-rounded. Luke Reese does more. He does. He just simply does more. And we actually got him to accept regular starter, not star player, which means he should stay happy and content for a while, and we shouldn't see some other team just sweep in and take him. There's absolutely no intention behind it. However, our roster is made up almost entirely, Sam Guthrie as goalkeeper being literally the only exception, almost entirely of 19 to 21-year-old players. Didn't happen on purpose. That's just what we have wound up with. It's a young group, which means there's going to be a maturity factor. We could see more red cards. Mental attributes develop over time. So we could see guys kind of losing their cool. Physically, we've got a good amount of pace. That was part of one of the things I was looking for in a lot of the players we signed. especially when I had two similar players, looking head to head, I would take somebody with a little more speed compared to the other one, and that could be a factor for this team going into the season, especially if we come up against some slower teams. We might be able to outrun, out-hustle, and get some points, which, at least entering the season, we assume we're going to need every point we can get. Before we get started on the game, quick note, there are icons for all of the teams for the league. When I did my huge package to start, it's the extraction of all of those files, 25 gigabytes worth of material. During that extraction process, the icons didn't quite go right. When I have a chance, when I have some downtime, I'm going to redo that portion of the process, and it's another 4 to 5 hours to get that to happen, and it's not something that I've been able to get the time to do just yet. I've already had a couple late nights as it was, and didn't just leave it happening overnight, as I was literally trying to get episode number 2 of the series done overnight last night. So one thing at a time. But anyway, it will be back in order before long. So in the next couple of episodes, look for all of the actual team icons to be back. At least ours is up and running. But first match against Kings Lynn. Now, where we stand in the league, well, 400 to 1 odds. And that's much worse than it was. In fact, Kettering was 200 to 1. We were 300 to 1. Now that they've actually seen our roster, it's gotten worse. It's definitely gotten worse. Now, as for Kings Lynn, they are a team that was just relegated down to here, but they are a team not immediately set to bounce back, but could be promotion playoff level, which means they're definitely one of the better teams out there. If we play okay today and are competitive, even if we lose, I like our chances of survival. If we get blown out, tactical familiarity. Some of these guys have been with us long enough now or just the system itself is something they're stepping into and are comfortable with from the get-go. Therefore, we're okay on the tactical familiarity, considering how much change we've gone through and how many hundreds of players I saw on trial during this preseason to get to this group. Only to, let's be honest, this group is not going to be around long. So we will find better sooner rather than later, I would think. But still, we went through a lot to get to them, and so for them to have this amount of familiarity. All right, well, the perfect fans have showed up in force here for this one. So have the away fans. Kings Lynn, definitely one of the better supported Vanarama National North side. They were pretty well supported, I think, in the Vanarama National League a year ago. But let's see how we fare as we get started in our campaign, primarily set for survival here in this first season. Remember, the new stadium, it's nearly a year and a half away. First long ball is to no man's land, and ended that first highlight already. How do we fare? How is our defense going to hold up? Already a dangerous play there. Hargreaves gets that shot and earns a corner for the other side. 3 minutes in, dangerous moment, but Guthrie grabs and sends a long ball to no one. And no one anywhere near that position. Nice cross there, but it is cleared out. Midgley takes the shot. That was begging for a deflection from Lomas or whoever was. It looks like it was Lomas who was in that position. Nicholson, not sure where you're going with that clearing header. The ball should have been intercepted. And suddenly we do not look like the team we've seen in preseason. Right now, just struggling to hang on. Guthrie, grateful to grab that one. But could have easily been out for a corner. And they've already had 5 shot attempts in the first 12 minutes and half a goal plus worth of XG. Not looking great here early on. Nice interception there from Midgley, though. Holmes. There's Brown. We've got a little space here. We've got an overload on the right-hand side, and Nicholson's going to take advantage of it. Brown finds Holmes inside, and Reese. Close. That could have and should have got us on the board first. Really, that looked like a better chance than anything they've had to this point. We are approaching halftime, and we are getting outplayed for sure. They are the better team, without a doubt. But we're hanging in there, and it's halftime. Is this a sign of things to come? Can we hang on? Can we be competitive? It's fine if virtually everybody we go up against is the better team. Tactically, we'll get some results. We'll get draws. We'll get the occasional win, and I can see us hanging on. If this is a sign of things to come, if we can take one of the better teams in the league and be competitive, especially if we can come out of this thing goalless at the end. I doubt that's going to happen. But, outside of a couple early plays, we held them to nothing and actually we got more XG as the half went on than they did. I will not be surprised at all if that forward position, the strikers, have the worst ratings this season. That or the defense. I think the midfield's going to be the one that's a little more okay balanced, not punished quite as much, even if they're beat on a regular basis, and kind of the source of our lack of possession and whatnot. And actually today, possession's not bad. We have 54%. We're keeping the ball fairly well. Midgley has picked up a yellow and is having a rough day. We're an hour in. We've got a very good backup option in Bradbury. Let's get Bradbury in to avoid that yellow card. What a save from Guthrie. Keeping us alive. Wow, that was such a close moment. That was the key moment of this game. Reese also picks up a yellow. I do not have on the bench. We do have Wilkinson there. So Wilkinson, let's get him in there. And we have played 70. Folks, I am not thinking about a goal right now. I am thinking about hanging on for a point. Poor defense on that one from Bradbury, who just came in, as he did not come that well at all. But we are going to start some time wasting here quite soon. Another minute or two. Oh, great pass, Nicholson. Come on. Oh, we got Brown. Nice pass there, and we gotta go. Alex Wilkinson, the opening goal of the season. We are not going to get a lot of goals this year. If we're getting one a day, I think that's about what we can expect. What a great sequence there, Brown. Really nice pass. Wilkinson, though. Jones needs to do better. Guthrie's save on that short goal a while ago was a much better option. Wilkinson picks up a knock. He just came on. He picks up a knock. I do believe we're going to have to get it in here. I do believe I have another option. Yeah, Lomas or Harrison. And we have Campbell on the bench. So let's get the injured man. Injured and struggling to run it off. Fantastic goal there. And Wilkinson gets on the board. So that was good. Four minutes to go. Dangerous play. Guthrie, another big stop. Let's try it. We're out of subs though. So Harrison's picked up a knock as well. That's what it is. Harrison was the one we pushed from. Okay, so we've got two guys that have picked up knocks today. It's not that he wasn't subbed. That was a substitution complete. Nice interception from Lomas. That's what I was talking about, why I kept Lomas out on the wing and not Harrison. And Harrison scores to seal the game. Okay, folks. Kings Lynn is the better team. But tactically and competitively, we are just close enough. And tactically, we've beaten them. Against the run of play, we've grabbed the 2 goals we needed. The team has done enough. And does that mean survival's on the way? It's one result. But it's a huge 3 points to open. Keep an eye on things as the season progresses. That's going to be a yellow card for sure. Yep. Game's already done. Refs forgetting about blowing the whistle, letting them play on. And Bowie gets there. Clears it. But that's going to do it. 3 points. 3 points to open the season. Absolutely massive job there from the team. Totally against the run of play. I mean, XG-wise, they should have had 2 goals. We approached 1, but yeah, 3 shots on target, 2 balls on the back of the net. But that's what you've got to do when you're the weaker team. You've got to take the chances that you're given, and we did. And some of that is tactical. We were right place, right time for the finishes we had, and they took a number of poor attempts. Guthrie did come up with a couple really big saves, though, and their keeper didn't when he could have. So Guthrie wins the goalkeeper battle on the day for sure, and was a pivotal piece, and has a huge rating as a result. Guthrie came up big. This wasn't full on a fluke, but it was not like in the cards. This was not in the cards. They were the better team. They should have won. So 3 points today is a big deal, and no, we are not just suddenly okay and safe. But the signs are there that if we could beat Kings Lynn, even if it was not a game we should have come away with a result, if we can be competitive enough against them, imagine what we could do against teams, at the bottom of the standings like ourselves. I think we'll get enough results. That's what I'm hopeful of anyway. It's only 1 game. It is only 1 match into the season. There is so much yet to do, and it could go all horribly wrong still. But it's a great sign. And just like that, the cellar that has been where we've been sitting with that reputation of 1, it's grown massively to a 6 out of 10,000. But that's the start. And once you get that ball rolling, and you get that snowball effect, as we get a higher and higher reputation, better class of players will become available, and that's going to be that key. Morale, meanwhile, is quite high at an 8. By the end of the month, last month, we ended up spending like $500,000 in total, with a lot of that being other. Now, I don't know if that was fees to bring clubs to play us preseason. That very well could have been a big part of that. I don't know where those fees necessarily were going, but it's a hefty expense to try to cover, with $520,000 as that overall expense. But income-wise, last month we did bring in almost $500,000. Gate receipts, match day income, season tickets being a big part of that. Of course, we're not going to have the season tickets now. They're done. They sold a quarter of the seats through season tickets. This month, gate receipts, 1 match. Okay, one home match in. That's all we've played this month. Match day income, corporate facilities income. So that combination, $185,000 for that one. And meanwhile, we needed $300K. Yeah, I think we're going to be just about okay on the balance, as long as we don't have some crazy other accounts that are quite high. That was the worrying one on last month, but maybe that had something to do with either the season tickets or preseason matchup fees, because I know that I added one to the list, and we had to pay that team $30,000 to come, and so maybe this was all of those teams earning some sort of payment. Extract that number from the list, right? So we didn't have any others this time. Subtract that and just take this one into account. yeah, we'll have more than 310,000 a month with 2 home games. Big update on the takeover rumors. Ratcliffe has come out and said no, there is no takeover. It's not happening. But he's also came with a further detail that it was internal. It was not an external takeover. It was something happening internally within the company that Ratcliffe would be the head of, in the case of the game. Second ever league match kicks off, and it just so happens to be against the relegation favorite Kettering Town. So against Kettering, we've got, something of a chance here of getting back-to-back results. This would be what I suspect is going to be a rare away opportunity, as I don't think we're going to do as well on the road as we do at home. The Sheriff tries to draw a foul, but oh my goodness, that hits the inside of the post and somehow keeps out Guthrie. I like how he is doing a little bit of sweeping there, a little more aggressive as he claims that ball. Toslin. Oh, wow. Woodward twice now. Dangerous free kick. Point blank. Guthrie not in position to make a stop there. The defender on him, the guy marking him, is the one who has to win that header. He doesn't even go up to challenge. Store. Way too easy. Now, that was all over half an hour, and we saw all 3 of their shot attempts, now 4, and we haven't had one yet. Harrison, Kemp. No goal here. No shot yet. Gregory is that player we were looking at a while ago for comparison, just to show that as much as we have progressed in finding players and building a squad, our squad was still nowhere near the level of those surrounding us in this tier. And on the road here, Kettering Town taking care of business at home. They have come out aggressive. Nicholson's having a bad day. We can use that if we had a sub. Bradbury's on the left. Can Midgley play on the right? I do not have a backup for right back. Ouch. We are stuck with Nicholson unless what would Bradbury look like? Alright, it's a team without much confidence here heading into the second half, and already off to a poor start as Sharp gets a fairly decent chance there, and Guthrie this time making a decent stop, and now Nicholson picks up a knock, making it that much more complicated. We're going to have to go with Bradbury. Sheriff. No flag. I didn't see it. I just saw him being well behind the defense. I was completing the sub. McDonald, the long throw. Graham just lays it off for Hill. Easily onside. That's just poorly played defense. And here's where you start to fall into the concerns of, yes, we are a team that is well below the level we need to be at. This is the team that should be last in the league, and they are beating us quite comfortably. Midgley, dangerous situation being on a yellow. Holmes, bad rating and on a yellow. Do I have another option? I do. We'll get Holmes out of it at least. Have we even had a shot today? One shot. Bradbury cuts inside. Found some space in there. Harrison, nice little 1-2. Reese. Lomas. Oh, Lomas needs to do more with that one. Get it back inside right away before the defense has a chance to clear out of the box. But then we lose it. Reese, another really poor day. We're going to need to bring on Wilkinson again. That's our last sub. And some of these guys are going to definitely have a talking to after this game. Wilkinson, was he onside? He's tapped it in. It's 2-1. It's 2-0. He was offside. I feared as much. Didn't see a replay here. Ouch, dangerous play. Tams comes to the rescue and clears that away. Actually, really, that was on Guthrie to get that one away. But Lowy, terrible positioning there. Played two guys well onside with no defensive support and no reason to be up there. Sheriff might have been offside on that one. Oh, Guthrie. Right through the hands of Guthrie, and it was already over. It's 95th minute. Game should have ended. Well, I guess looking at the replay here, it was just in time. Wait, did we just own goal that? No, that's left late. That was offside. He was definitely a leg ahead. He was behind the defense there. No VAR from here, though. That goal should not have counted. A not that bad performance got a whole lot uglier. But there's the worry. There's the concern. Right? 1.3 to 0.4. That last one shouldn't have stood. They shot ridiculously well. Very high shooting percentage. Should have finished 2-0. We should have done something. I mean, we scored and it was offside. They scored and it was offside but counted. Even if it was only a leg, it was offside. You know, offside's offside. A little bit unlucky, but clearly, Kettering was the better side. And that's worrying because they are supposedly the worst team in the league besides ourselves. And they just beat us handily. So the road does not look to be our friend this season. But if we can beat a good team at home, we can drag the occasional result. We'll be okay. But there is that night and day difference. And the team played without confidence today. It was clear. They played with confidence in the first game. So maybe that's crowd support. I don't know. Maybe that's first game of the season. Maybe that's because morale was high from a good preseason. What happens when morale drops? We will score points. We've already managed to score points. We have 3 on the board. It's a start. But it's going to be a difficult road still. That's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Remember, the first 3 episodes are where it matters most for the algorithm. So please take a second, drop below, click that like button, leave a comment, algorithm type comment, or whether you think survival is in the cards or not. Was this a good start? Was it a good enough start? Or is there still some hefty concerns? I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.